Yeah, it's kind of a mess. If you guys want, you can bring that laptop up here and I can just hit a key and advance it along.
I'm afraid that's not an option right now.
They're stressing out. All right, so I'm gonna tell the story of how the ICO was invented. When I first started talking with Lewis, who was our MC tonight, I basically said, hey, do you think your audience would be interested in hearing the story of the first ICO? They might find that interesting. So he said, yeah, go ahead, come on over and tell the story. And so I put together a presentation. It's basically just a story. And I have some ideas of what's going to happen next, which I'll share with you. Are we making any progress there? You want me to just like give you a signal to advance the slide? Or? I guess we're just going to wait for people to trickle in from the restrooms, I guess.
I found the audience.
You found the audience. All right.
Start with a little bit about yourself. We'll get going for you.
All right, they're still working on it.
About when you were a boy in Idaho.
So I'm gonna have to kill some time, I guess. My presentation is actually doesn't even quite fit in 20 minutes, and I know we're time constrained, but I'm gonna have to talk really fast actually once we get this up finally because it's it didn't fit in 20 minutes, and it looks like I'm gonna have less than 20 minutes because of technical problems. So the ICO, it's a crazy idea. If you think about it, just a few years ago, this had never happened before. Nobody had ever done anything like an ICO, and it takes a certain amount of craziness to even contemplate doing something like that. If you think about it, basically you're just writing a white paper, and then you're telling the world of strangers, people you've never met, you're saying, hey, everybody send me money for this idea I have. I've done nothing to work on it. All I have is an idea and I wrote about it and I think you should send me some money. It's about the craziest idea I've ever heard of. And you might think the person that invented it was crazy, and you'd be right, actually. We're going to talk about that. Actually, that is the central thrust of what I'm going to talk about is all the crazy things that I did leading up to that. The ICO itself and some of the stuff that happened after that, all of it absolutely nuts. I don't have my slides up here, but I'm just going to start talking about some of the stuff that's in here while you guys work on that. There's an alternate title for this presentation that was rejected. The title of this presentation is How the ICO was Invented and What's Next. The alternate title is the history of my long history of acting, or so what is it? My long history of acting like a crazy person. And so they wouldn't let me run with that title of my history of acting like a crazy person, so I had to come with something more sober. But that really is the gist of what we're going to talk about today. And I'm just going to start talking just from my handwritten notes here while they work on my slide. And I apologize, this is going to be a little impromptu and informal without my slides, but that's fine, I don't mind. So let's go back in your minds to 2010. 2010, Bitcoin had really just been invented. I was a software developer. I had some interest in economics. I was interested in computer science, obviously. I was interested in things like penny stocks, payment systems, and really, I just got lucky. There was nothing really special about me that I got into Bitcoin really early. I just had the right set of interests at the right time. Are we good? Yes. Yeah. Oh, look at that. There's my presentation. And the clicker works and everything?
Let's find out.
All right, let's find out. Oh, look at that. Oh, wait, what happened? I hit next and it did that. All right, there's my alternate title. My long history of sounding like a crazy person. Next. No? It's not next, dude. Oh, there we go.
Next, and we'll play it for you.
What's that?
Say next.
All right, well, you'll say next. All right, so this is going to be a little informal. So 2010, the subtitle there, My Insane Infatuation with Magic Internet Money. Like this was a crazy idea, Bitcoin, back in the day. Let's put up the next one there, the next bullet. I talked about that. Yeah, let's start there. I spent months begging my wife and my friends, my family to listen to me. I was saying things like, you have no idea how big this Bitcoin thing is going to be. Bitcoins were worth like 25 cents back then. It was not, it was cheap and nobody had heard of it. Have you ever had a friend that got into a multi-level marketing scheme? And they're like, oh, I'm going to be rich, it's going to be great, and you're trying to figure out how to tell this person that they are getting ripped off, that that it's just a scam. This is how people looked at me. I got these pitying looks of like, you poor person. You're being scammed by these guys on the internet. Look at this last point here. At the time that I was interested in Bitcoin, there were a couple ways to buy Bitcoin. One was you could wire money to Mt. Gox, the first Bitcoin exchange, or if you wanted to put less money in, you could actually take an envelope, stick some $20 bills in there, and mail it to this guy in Canada, who would then send you magic internet money that was going to be big someday. It was absolutely the most crazy sounding thing. Yet, if you really looked into it and you looked at how it worked, and you understood economics and a lot of these other things, you could suddenly see the inevitability. Like this crazy sounding system sounded completely inevitable to me. I was like, this is going to be huge. I don't know if it's going to be Bitcoin itself. It might be something like Bitcoin, but something like this is going to take over the world. Let's put up the next bullet point there. So this is kind of funny. So I argued with my wife for months, and finally she got tired of me embarrassing us in front of friends and family. Christmas came around. My birthday is right next to Christmas, and she literally said, "Here's $200. You can flush it down the toilet. I don't care. I don't want to hear anything else about this. Go do your Bitcoin thing." And we're done talking about this. And then I'll bring this up later, by the way. The next time you have a crazy idea, it's going to be, remember Bitcoin? Remember how that worked out? So we do have that conversation now, actually. Let's go to the next slide. All right, so we've got, so I decided rather than to send the money in the mail to Canada, I decided that I was going to try mining instead. So I used this money in a kind of crazy way. Now, this is the next crazy thing that I did. Let's put up the next bullet point. I wrote a custom wrapper to disguise Bitcoin mining software. I'm a software developer, so I just took the Bitcoin mining software and I hid it. I stuck it in a temporary folder, and I wrote some software that looked like something else.